Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, serfs, Dutch slave serfs, peasants, vassals, minions, meat sacks. I'm Useful Idiot. Welcome. And let's go back to Syria. Why not? And this is one of those cases where there's two separate stories that appeared, and when you put them together, it becomes a lot more interesting. And in this case, it's an article about the CIA having a plan B in Syria, and that is to load up the so-called rebel forces with heavier weapons. This is from a Wall Street Journal article that was then quoted on Russia Today, and apparently they're drawing up plans to upgrade the types of weapons they're going to send to the rebels, including anti-aircraft weapons. And of course, that's very notable that they would, the United States would start funneling anti-aircraft weapons to the Syrian rebels. Obviously, a direct confrontation likely with Russian aircraft. So that's an interesting move. But one of the things that's interesting about this story is that Russia Today did this report and doesn't seem to be aware of the fact that there's been huge shipments of weapons already sent by the CIA to Syria, undoubtedly to Syria. Because another report came out that's based on material from British Jane, which tracks the military events in the world, including the shipments of weapons. And in this case, the CIA has been delivering thousands of tons of weapons to the rebels, which of course means thousands of tons of weapons that end up in the hands of Al-Qaeda as well. And these shipments are completely documented, and they transport these weapons through Turkey from Eastern Europe and then on to Jordan. And so a lot of these weapons are coming from Bulgaria, Croatia, Romania. And that's been a pattern all along, that a lot of weapons that end up being sent to arm jihadists all over the world end up coming from Eastern Europe, because they have quite a stockpile in the post-Soviet Union era. And then also the fact that they're not technically U.S. weapons and hard to trace back to the United States. But it includes AK-47 rifles, machine guns, heavy machine guns, RPGs, and anti-tank weapons. So a lot more heavy weaponry, and we're talking about a staggering amount. In December 2015, one ship with over 1,000 tons of weapons and ammunition, and then again in March 2016, a second ship with 2,000 tons of weapons and ammo. So it looks like this CIA Plan B is already in full swing, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like the United States is taking the opportunity of this ceasefire and there's this humanitarian aid going on at the same time, which makes it so ironic. But the CIA is loading up Syria with more weapons, and boy, that sure makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? We're going to pile in all these weapons. So say the ceasefire holds and there's a regime change, and then all of a sudden there's all these thousands and thousands and thousands of tons more weapons and heavy weaponry floating around in the hands of jihadists. I wonder where they'll go next with all those weapons. There's so many possibilities. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too.